Boom, boom, boom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. It happened the moment. Doom, 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 doom. When silver revealed. Doom, 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 doom. The dollar's a dream that should never have been. A money called real. Do, 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 do. Just give me some eagles, baby. Do, do, do. They'll change my life. Mm-hmm. And maybe some bars and some rounds and some dimes. Feels like paradise. Mm-hmm. So, shouldn't I really try? Build my stack really high. It will never be enough, so don't ever wonder. Shouldn't I really try? Build my stack up to the sky. It will never be enough, so don't ever wonder. Good morning, fellow billionaires. It's Silver 5150 with your market wrap for Friday, September 25th, 2020. I doubt that many of you ever heard of Maxwell, but that was his hit Ascension, specially adapted for the purposes here today. We kind of fiddle with the lyrics a little bit. That's okay. That's the way we have fun. Got a little different setup today, man. I actually had to say a prayer before I got started this morning because everything was going wrong with the studio, as you can tell from the timeline. We are late. I wanted to have this out a lot earlier, but I appreciate you guys still tuning in and putting up with all of the technical difficulties, which is inherent to the Silver 5150 channel. We have had our issues over the months. You guys know that. You guys that have been here earlier on know how raw and how jacked up the videos were, but you still tuned in. I really appreciate that. All right, just kind of going through some of the giveaway things we have here. I'm going to say something really quick about this Valcambi Combi Bar mini pack. So it's a Valcambi mini pack, and this is going to be for our 3,750 subscriber giveaway. And if you guys don't understand what exactly is going on here, this is just two layers of the Valcambi 1 gram sections. All right, 2 layers of them, 16 wide, 2 layers deep. So that is 32 grams of bullion grade assayed silver bars from a Swiss mint. And mind you, these individual bars actually retail for close to $5 on some of your favorite online retailers. So this is not a cheap giveaway. It wasn't that expensive for me when I bought them, but now I'm going to pass the increased value on to a lucky subscriber that comments on not this video. When we get to 3,750 subscribers, we'll do a specific video for that, and this will be the first prize for the person's comment that's chosen in that video. This here, the Paul Revere 1/2 ounce round, will be the second prize. And let's get it in closer. The Paul Revere round. It's very nice. Very nice. 1/2 ounce round. Silver round, pure silver, as you can see. All right. And so that'll be the second prize. But anyway, guys, I'm not even sure if you guys even know who Maxwell is. He was a, kind of a jazzy R&B artist back in the 90s. I mean, he still does stuff to this day. And, is a big influence in the R&B scene, especially, with the lyrics that were written and stuff. Very chill out type of music and stuff. But, so that was kind of my take on that. Hopefully I got close enough for you aficionados that do know who Maxwell is. And, that I got within 80%, like I always do. But anyway, so look, today, guys, I just wanted to tell you that you're in the right place. You're in the right place, okay, for the content you like. But before we begin all the things that I'm going to talk about today, I'd like to cover a few different things first. At least a couple of times a week, I get passing criticisms about the format of this show and the topics that I cover, or, and the things on which I speak. Look, I get it. I am not like a lot of channels. This is not like a lot of channels, okay? And I don't mind, passing criticism. I think criticism, constructive criticism anyway, it always attributes to growth. It really does. The only thing that bums me out a little bit is that the critics that I keep getting hit by, I think they completely missed the point of this channel and are probably the ones that could benefit the most from it. I'd see those guys out there to providing content and stuff, and I get it. Look, I mean, if you like hard boiled market news all the time, trust me, there are places for that. These guys have those places, and I'm talking to you hard boiled guys out there. I appreciate you because I watch your content and I love your content. So I am not knocking it at all, but just understand, that's not what we do here. Here at the Silver 5150 channel, it's more about the psychology and the interpretation of the powers that be and what they do, how they will affect our favorite asset class and the way forward in silver once the present system collapses in on itself and subsequently takes all the market manipulation with it in the process. And that is our hope. That is our hope. Well, it's not even our hope. It's actually an inevitability when you think about it because of all the things that are going on, which we're going to touch on that today. All right. But yeah, so this is a channel where we come in to, it's the way forward, right? So yes, this requires some speculation and, thinking about the possible future outcomes. And I know I get way out there in the future and I get way crazy and stuff what I talk about with the stories and the characters I create and the scenarios I try to tell you about, guys, the mother of all shopping sprees and all that stuff. Look, I get it because I want you to stay motivated. Look, it is a foregone conclusion. We are already wealthy beyond the dreams of Azareth. We really are. We just have to wait for the evaluation to take place. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And for those people out there that love being mired in the negativity of the pricing schedule and all that stuff, they come out and they say, well, guys, I wouldn't expect a lot out of silver because, silver's just not that rare or, silver, it just doesn't perform that way. It's the devil's metal and, you expect to be disappointed. And I'm not knocking, you guys out there that report like that. But understand that silver behaves the way it does in the marketing scheme because it has a ton of derivatives attached to it. For possibly anywhere from 400 million to 800 million mined ounces a year, we have $5 trillion of paper derivatives levered against it to make it do things, cartwheels and all kinds of somersaults and whatnot. Okay, so it's going to do that, and it's designed expressly to demoralize us. It is designed to demoralize us. People don't want us in this medium, especially the powers that be. They don't want us in silver. They got plans for silver, and they're tired of us scarfing it up, and they're tired of us, hoarding it and holding it and hold on for dear life and all that stuff. They're tired of it, right? But look, when I do what I do and I talk about the positivities and the great things that await for us in the future about silver, it can be both scary and risky, okay? And it takes the same amount of guts as going on an epic grant or using the old if it bleeds, it leads, kind of mantra. It takes the same amount of effort to be positive when there is plenty to be positive about when nobody else wants to be. That's the thing. It's like it's very easy to be negative because if you end up with a positive outcome, you can still jump on the positive wagon and, and enjoy the fruits of that. All right. And then, if it turns out to be negative, you were right. But I know better. So I'm going to stay on the positive track. Okay. And we are going to continue to plot and plan a better future. So welcome to the Silver 5150 channel, a place where alternative investment choices are validated. Your alternative investment choices, they're validated here. Okay. This is where plans are made, where community is rooted in the pursuit of sound money. Continues to build and grow. This channel continues to build and grow. You guys make this channel grow, man. You guys make this channel what it is. You have brought me from nowhere to here, and I really, really appreciate it. I am not joking. I mean, no pun intended, but speaking of joking, the Silver Joker, he notices the channel, and he wants to do stuff, and that's a very big deal. I must be saying something or doing something right, or at least have you guys support to validate what I'm trying to do. And it energizes me every day. You guys energize me every day. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So this is Refuge, a place where you can get a respite from the hard-boiled issues. And the hard-boiled issues is something that and I say hard-boiled meaning like, the hardcore, really the realest news, the real, like purest, news, the economic malaise and the world, problems and tragedies and disasters. We know what's going on. We know the issues, man. We do. We live them. Some of us live them, daily, right? We know the issues. So instead of judgment here, there's encouragement. in a world that financially makes no sense. It helps to build financial foundation in a place that you feel comfortable for a better tomorrow. That's what we do. So come on into the lounge, enjoy the lounge. This is the place to be. The Silver Stackers Lounge here at the Silver 5150 channel. So we got a bunch of different coins here. I'm not going to actually go through them and tell you what they are. Okay? You just kind of look at them and enjoy them and try to ignore the reflection of my face. Ooh. So 5150, it's going to come out sooner or later. Everything's going to come out sooner or later. And you know what? I'm ready for it. When it happens, it'll happen organically and it'll happen naturally, and that's fine. All right, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the markets. And one of the reasons I wanted to start later here with the markets today is because I wanted to make sure that the markets were live when we start talking about them instead of the futures, because it's been so insane this week that the futures kind of are the past, and the present is really all that matters right now. So, right now, stocks are down a little bit, about 0.25% across the board. Dow Jones down 26,753, down some 62 points, while the S&P 500 is down about 8 points and at 3238. And the NASDAQ is actually up a wee bit, just over the flat line at $3.18, up at $10,675. So them and the NASDAQ and the Russell 2K are both up, just barely over the flat line. Can they maintain that today? I don't know. It all depends on the dollar and the euro. The dollar index is just taking off like a thunderous herd. It is leaving us in the dust and leaving tracks on our back. The dollar is gone bonkers. It's gone nutso. What's making all these things happen? Is it things happening in Europe with the Brexit? Is it things happening, around the world with other currencies that are burning down? Is gold worthless? Is silver even worth less than that? Who knows what's causing the dollar to be pumped up? But I think it is a derivative scheme against the euro, pushing it down and bringing the dollar up by the powers that be. And they do that to control the equity markets and, of course, the commodities markets. And that helps them kind of work their way out of the system. They don't want to be in it either, by the way. They don't want to be in the system either. They can see the tsunami of stuff that's coming at us, and they don't want any part of it, man. They want to get out of this, get into something digital, something that doesn't put any limits on them, and keep on keeping on. I get it. So, you know what? Let's work together. Let's get the hell out of this system and get into the new one, all right? And this is where we want to be. Well, not Korea. I mean, I want to be in Korea. I want to hang out with Expat Stacker, but, I want to be able to use this tiger here to make my way through the country, to go to amusement parks if they have them, to go on tour, a tour bus and stuff, and go, stay at some nice hotels, or maybe go on the beach at Busan or something. Who knows? You just want to be able to use your silver the way it's meant to be used, minted and struck and made by these national banks to be used as currency, so they can get you the things you need, the quality of life you want, and all the nice things, for your families. Okay, so gold and silver, they're kind of hanging on today. Not really. I mean, they're actually getting hit pretty hard, but considering what's been going on during the week, they are starting to, I think, turn around. Now, look, here's the thing. I don't know if we're going to get any green shoots at all in gold and silver between now and the end of the month. We've got 3 more trading days after today, towards the end of September, but look, man, we get to the end of September, and now what are we talking about? We're talking about the end of the third quarter of, economic, activity here this year, and into the new fiscal year for 2021. All right? Economic reality is going to rear its ugly head, and all these shenanigans and, somersaults and, crazy hocus pocus things that the Fed and the Treasury are doing is going to come to a screeching halt, and we're going to start to head back to where we belong, $29 silver on past $30 silver, at which point we'll do a giveaway there too, and all that good stuff, and get back on track to where we were headed, in the first place. All right, so just keep that in mind. It is a hit job. It is a psychological hit job designed to make you feel like you've made the wrong choice in your investment. And trust me, look, I'm in. I'm all in, man. Okay? And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to even convince you anything. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm telling you that I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to laugh, because it is going to be good for those who have stacked their brains out. So let's continue doing that. All right, so it is a psychological hit job. They want you to feel demoralized in what you're doing. Do not let them get to you, because you are where you need to be. You're here in the Silver Chill Out Lounge with Silver 5150, and you're stacking this smack that we have right now, and continue doing that. Okay? All right. So before we start with the subject today, I want to talk about this thing called cognitive dissonance, and that's a phenomenon where a person begins to settle into the belief that a set of circumstances will remain in perpetuity. I know better than that as well. So, um, we saw this, all week, like I said, as they smashed the metals down and they tried to, get us to believe that, silver was never going to recover. And, we're talking about the usual suspects that made this happen. We're talking about the Fed, we're talking about the Treasury, central banks across the world, the COMEX, commercial banks. These are all rallying together. These guys are all rallying together to create the idea that the metals were headed back into the abyss. That we're going to head back into the abyss with gold and silver, $14 silver, which I know you stackers would love to have. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Even today when I'm watching things get smacked around a bit and stuff. And of course, $1,200 gold. I don't see that either. We just got a lot of things going on that I think are going to make the case that that is not going to happen. We'll get into that here very soon. All right. So just keep in mind that, all these events I'm about to tell you about, silver has been salivating. Do I have that right side up? Yeah, there it is, Germania. Silver has been salivating, over the things that have been taking place. All these hard-boiled events and, hard-boiled news, things that have happened in the last year, for example. Silver has been quietly and calmly salivating over each of these things I'm about to mention. I'm going to go down a short list. I'm not going to go into detail of them because you've already experienced them. These are things that have happened in the past, but these are things that are definitely going to continue to bear weight on the reality of this economy that's coming up in 2021. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the list of things that have happened in the last year that have made quite a bit of an impact on the, wait a minute, that's upside down. Yeah, there we are. On the world economy and the outcome for silver and gold. So, number one, the overnight lending banking crisis, or the repo crisis for short, in mid-September of last year. Okay, there was that. Remember that. And this was in September last year. And this is where they, probably spent about $12.1 trillion, propping up the banks and trying to keep them going and stuff. All right? That happened in September last year. Next up, number two is going to be the Hong Kong protests, which began the end of September last year. And I don't even know if they really ended. Okay? But that was a very big deal that was going on in September last year. And that was something that was building into weakening the economy. Okay, number three, the countdown to Brexit. That began October of last year with Boris Johnson, and they're in Britain, and the British plan to leave the European Union, and that's still lingering out there. Number four, now while November was relatively a quiet month in 2019, December more than made up for it. December more than made up for it with the COVID-19 outbreak in China and Europe, and we were off to the races at that point, guys. You know what happened after that. So we're going to move on to January of this year. In January of this year, let me see if I can get you something nice here. In January of this year, the World Health Organization, of course, officially declared a global pandemic amid the hordes. Now think about it. So they declared a global pandemic in January of this year. And you know what else was going on in January of this year? There were hordes of locusts in Kenya, earthquakes in Turkey, epic floods in Indonesia, and even a volcanic eruption in the Philippines. Can anyone say biblical for the month of January? Good grief. Okay, look, I'm going to take a little break right there because, guys, let's not forget that throughout this entire period when all this stuff was going on, we had numerous protests going on around the globe, not just in China. We had numerous protests going on around the globe. We had a trade war that was heating up between China and the U.S. at the same time. All right? Venezuela and Argentina, they were headed back into the economic abyss with their inflation and hyperinflation. Brexit began to finalize, here during this time in January. It's continued to build all the way up until next month. And then remember, guys, we had those epic brush fires in Australia that were so catastrophic, their effects could be seen from outer space. Not cool. Not cool at all. Okay, so we're just a little ways through. Halfway through. So look. You want hard-boiled news? You got it. This is what's happened here in the last year. Hard-boiled, right? Okay. Number six, February of this year. February of this year, the world falls into an economic recession with every indicator plunging into record low territory. I'm talking employment, everything, as the effects of COVID-2 begin to take hold. The changes are too numerous to mention here. All the different, economic numbers you can think of. We could fill an entire podcast with that just alone. Now, suffice it to say that nearly every economic record around the globe had broken to the downside at that time, and we were only getting started. February, we're only getting started. Now, March, number 7, March. In March 2020, March this year, okay, I don't know how well you can see that. Central banks worldwide go nuclear on the money printing, trying to front run the effects of COVID, while China and parts of Europe are reeling from the high numbers of casualties. This in March. We were now in the quickening. Number 8, April this year, U.S. unemployment drops to 14.7%. Remember, I went on that rant about how they jacked the numbers to try to keep the market from crashing. And trust me, we had a huge market crash in March, which I didn't even bring up. I forgot about that, where the stock market fell, the Dow fell 3,000 points twice in like a week. There was that in March. But back to April, U.S. unemployment dropped down to 14.7%, which served as a rocket pack that would assist the global economy in its already rapid downward spiral. While oil commodities closed in the negative for the first time in human history, down some $37 below zero by the end of the trading session that day. I think it was April 20th. Now, guys, it is from this point that I can continue to cherry pick the economic events month to month, but suffice it to say that any minor reversal of the economic downturn has come at the expense of massive money printing for every currency imaginable. This is monumental for 2 very important reasons. If you don't take anything else away from this podcast today, take these 2 things, okay? The first thing is that the most undervalued monetary asset, okay, in the history of history, the most undervalued monetary asset in the history of history, I almost bit my tongue there because I'm so excited, silver. Silver is starved for inflation. It's been starved, artificially starved for inflation, and it's been denied it for about 150 years. And the reason why silver is being denied inflation is because the powers that be fear that it will run rings. It'll run rings. Silver will run rings around every currency in existence, including gold, when it becomes activated. Okay? The second reason that you need to take with you today is that silver never forgets. Silver never forgets, guys. I'm telling you. Silver remembers everything. It's kept track of every inflationary event for the last 150 years, like I said. All right? And is simply waiting for permission to pig out on that inflation. That's all it's waiting for. But that permission will only come with the complete exhaustion of the physical retail market. The physical silver retail market has to become completely exhausted before we begin to realize true price discovery. So look. Ooh, nice lunar module there. Let's get out there and buy this weekend. You see the prices being smashed down. They're probably going to close, red again today. Take advantage. I've been spending money that I don't have again, and hopefully I can make it work next month, but I can't miss out on these prices. I gotta get some. Silver Joker's out there buying. A lot of the other stackers are out there buying. All my buddies, the broker, he's getting in on something. We got the mechanic. He's going to be buying something this weekend. Everybody's buying. Let's go ahead and own this silver market. I'm not going to say break the silver market. Let's get out and own this silver market. Let's own it. We are the Stacker Nation. We deserve to, control. We deserve to be the custodians of God's money, or money for the people. Silver, money for the people. And look, a little bit of gold too. I'm not a charlatan. A little bit of gold too. Hang on, get this up right. Yeah, gold is good. I like gold, and I know Florida Stacker likes gold too. So look here. Yeah. Let's just go out and buy as much physical silver as we can so that silver can finally get the weight service that it deserves. Silver deserves the weight service that's going to feed it the inflation and hyperinflation it needs to grow big and strong and become the currency it was always meant to be for us. All right? So, hey, you know what I'm about to say. I'm Silver5150 telling you that your stack is not whack and that just 15 ounces to your name. Just 15 ounces to your name. Ooh, Canadian Moose. Keeps you 99% ahead of the game. All right? Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And be aware that we're heading into the future. And as such, there are some big changes on the horizon for the Silver 5150 channel. You guys have made this channel grow. You've helped it evolve. And as such, there's some changes coming. But they'll be good changes. Okay? Also, if you guys would like to participate in the Silver Joker / Silver 51 collaboration channel name giveaway, let me say that again. If you'd like to participate in the Silver Joker Silver 5150 collaboration channel name giveaway, please send a written suggestion to either of our P.O. boxes And that info can be found in our channel's bios, okay, on our pages and on YouTube, right? So you have to do that. You have to send a written suggestion to a P.O. box to be eligible for the giveaway. From there, we will choose 5 of the best efforts, and we're going to have the audience choose from the 5 to name our collaboration effort, channel, show, whatever we're going to do there. Okay, let me see if I can get you one more for the road here. One's had a small elephant. What do we got? Yeah, oak leaf, flying fish. I think we went through them all. Let's see. It's got. Yeah. Here we go. How about an Australian nugget? All right. So, thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you guys for being patient and waiting for the show to develop. Hopefully, this thing will go off right and my studio won't go crashing down around me. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Get out there, shop, and keep stacking. Okay? Thanks, guys. And remember, this is your Chill Out Lounge. This is your Chill Out Lounge. This is your Silver Chill Out Lounge on the Silver 5150 channel. You come here for refuge. You come here for respite. You come here to know and to be validated in your alternative investing choice. You have made the right one, and you're in the right place. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Keep stacking, and peace.